Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Good evening and welcome to Flow episode 39. I am your host, Cam Cooksey. And how's everybody doing this evening? I see we got a lot of people already in here. I'm guessing, I don't know if we gotten rated yet, but I'm guessing people are coming on over from audio files. Actually, let me check. I think they're still live right now. Let me see. Yeah, they're finishing up right now. So, all right. So everybody that's already here, good evening, like I just said, and everybody that's going to start filing over. I would say welcome, but you're not here yet. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Chat. I'm looking through here. Let's flow. All right, that's something that's an answer. Let's see. We got a hi from Bay Theater Dave to Girl Honda. Good to see both of you. Oh, actually, before I forget, shout out to everybody that wished me a happy birthday on Monday. Thank you so much. I know I definitely got tips from, or birthday presents, call them birthday presents, from, I know Eleanor 2000, Unati, Salbish, and if there's anybody else I missed, go ahead and say it in the chat, and I will definitely give you a shout out. Sorry if I did miss who you were, but I know there were plenty of Rumble rants that came in. Maybe not Rumble rants, but like either rants or messages during Jackie's show or during Y Chrome's and other shows too. John's show, he wished me a happy birthday. So I appreciate all the love from you guys. This is actually the first birthday that I've had since I've been a host on Badlands. Last year, most of you guys knew me after meeting you guys at GART in November after the election. But yeah, I would say the last two birthdays have been super special with you guys in it. So just wanted to say that. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and get into the show. Let's start off with our ads first, so that, or at least one ad to start, so we can get flowing. Alpha looks like he's going to have people tonight. There's a guest name already up there, so that should mean that it's going to be all go. So, all right, first up, we have My Shroom Vibe.
Hey there, Earthlings. I'm here on the streets of New York to tell you about something that's literally out of this world. You know, traveling between dimensions really takes it out of you. But I've found the perfect solution. My Shroom Vibe can now be your Shroom Vibe. Elevate your frequency. Get microdose capsules, gummies, and chocolate bars at myshroomvibe.com. Use code BADLANDS for 10% off your order. Trust me, galaxy hopping demands balance, and ours comes from Mother Nature. Organic, not synthetic. It's the real deal. Psy Lee, if you know what I mean. Check it out. Your frequency will thank you. Visit myshroomvibe.com. Organic goodness, not synthetic. Use code BADLAND.
All right, and that is My Shroom Vibe. It obviously had all the information in the ad, but me being a little slow today. Okay, just making sure I didn't have to read anything because it was a produced ad. Yeah, so check out My Shroom Vibe, guys, at badlandsmedia.tv. And go to shop, and you'll be able to find all of our products. And I'm going to go ahead and get to our next ad as well. And our next ad comes to us from Scales, which I'm pretty sure you guys can see. You've seen their stuff before. But this is my buttery soft Scales t-shirt and my obviously beautiful Gulf of America attire. Let me get up real quick and show you guys the back of my shirt. Look at that. Look at that. That looks weird, but boom. Yeah, Now these shirts are super comfortable. They're beautiful too. I have a long sleeve white performance one that's perfect for fishing or anything. So make sure you guys check out Scales, and let me get to their ad real quick. The Scales Freedom Collection is where the open ocean meets the red, white, and blue seas we call home. Inspired by salt air, tight lines, and the rhythm of the tide and waves, this collection channels the spirit of freedom through the lens of a waterman's lifestyle. From long sleeve performance shirts, like I told you guys about a minute ago, my white one, built for the elements, to buttery soft tees, like the blue one you just saw, and hats adorned with bold, like the one you just saw. Ocean-inspired Americana prints. Every piece is designed to keep you cool, protected, and connected to the water that sets us free. From weed lines to tree lines, we love our freedom. Shop now at badlandsmedia.tv/scales and enter the code BADLANDS at checkout for 20% off your next purchase. That's badlandsmedia.tv/scales. Enter code BADLANDS at checkout for 20% off your next purchase. And thank you to Scales for their beautiful products. We'll get to the soft disclosure at it near the end of the show. But all right, guys. So I think we've given enough time. I see the numbers are going up. Freedom 1145. Good to see you. You were in Jackie's chat earlier today on her show. And we had a great time going back and forth about she did Super Bowls, Super Bowl halftime performances from, what was it, 1991? So 1991, basically when the game changed. If Jackie wants to come over here, I'll have her come over here in a little bit. She's got to eat and stuff first. So we'll see if she wants to come describe it. But I'll give you the shorthand version. Hooks and Harmony, 3:00 p.m. on Saturdays. I've told you guys about that before. She has a plethora of shows, but today's show was Super Bowl halftime performances from 91 on. And it's tying into my show a little bit, but mostly because the time of the year, what's been going on in the news and everything. And I'm not going to get too much into the weeds. I'll get you into some of the stuff that's going on, but we have plenty of shows that are about that. Excuse me. I'm going to go a little bit more off feeling, a little off flow today, or on flow, but off of the flow, like from the flow. But basically just like the emotions that I've been getting from the different things that I've seen in the past week or so. I'll bring up some stuff. We're definitely going to get into our, I'll just call them our American of the week, because, or Americans of the week if we play two videos, but we're going to get into that, the 250th anniversary, that special, or the Freedom 250. That's what it's called. Today's person is, I do not remember who it is. I have it pulled up, but we'll look at it later. Anyway, so we get into that. And when we do that, YouTube, I'm going to cut you guys out again. Like last time, we'll probably do it right around the hour mark. But I'll give you guys a little heads up before you can move on over to Rumble or X or Pilled, right? Yeah, Pilled. I got to figure that out. I don't know why I Pilled. All right. So anyway, yeah, so let's get into some stuff. So first up, I'm going to pull my X account up, and we're going to start off with, let's see. Let's start off with a little bit of the storm has arrived on X. Just 2 minutes of Donald Trump back in 87, just being the man that he is today. He's consistent with his messaging. He hasn't switched up on people, even though people try to make it seem like he's changed. We all know that, but I wanted to bless the show with that. And one thing I will tell you guys is that there is a sad note in the show, nothing from anyone in our audience or anything like that, but one of an artist of mine that I enjoy passed away today, and you guys probably know who it is. But I'll get into that in a little bit, but I'm just letting you know a little bit of the layout, because everything's going to be light and positive like it usually is, but we will have that little segment that'll be a little sad, but I think it's a beautiful message along the way. So let's get into it. So first up, we have the storm has arrived on X. I'm trying to pull it up and pause it so it doesn't start playing. All right, here we go. So get my phone out of my pocket to make sure that it's not on Wi-Fi. All right, we're good. Okay, so The storm has arrived on X, or at Storm Redux. It's the same person. Says, as a 41-year-old real estate developer, Donald Trump was speaking up about how Americans were getting ripped off by the rest of the world. It's crazy to hear him talk about everything he is currently fixing almost 40 years ago. He has been talking about how to make America great for decades, a true man of principle. Not only a true man of principle, but like I said, he doesn't switch up. Shout out to you two, by the way. I did talk to you guys already, but I saw Harry Patriot first. Good to see you. I wouldn't be surprised if Babbage is already in here, but I have not seen your name yet, Babbage. My bad if you already commented. And then we got Deb Perry Jordan. I'm not totally sure if I've ever seen your name before, but I'm happy to have you here. And I think we can almost all agree, if not everybody can agree, that we all love President Trump. And I think we're about to see 2 minutes of why. So let me go ahead and play it and stop stalling.
When I see a total ripoff of this country by Japan, where they literally have no defense budget, where we have to borrow money from them in order to get them oil and defend the Persian Gulf, where most of the oil goes to Japan and other countries, not us. We get 4% of oil. When I see Kuwait, a total ripoff, we're bringing the Bridgeton. You remember the Bridgeton? Their oil minister sat back and he laughed at how much money he's going to make. Why aren't we getting some of that money? Why aren't we getting it? They're taking in billions and billions of dollars. And we can't even land a helicopter on Kuwaiti soil. You tell me that's right. Saudi Arabia, they wouldn't even be there except for us. And in Saudi Arabia, we couldn't even use their minesweepers, Phil. You know it. We said, could we use your minesweepers? Ours are old, outdated, not worth a damn. They said, no, you can't use our minesweepers to protect the Persian Gulf. I mean, it's a disgrace. What's going on? There are many other countries and taking tremendous advantage of this, including NATO. If you look at the payments that we're making to NATO, they're totally disproportionate with everybody else's, and it's ridiculous. As far as other causes that are near and dear, this is the cause, because if we can solve this, then we're able to take care of something that I consider to be ultimately of ultimate importance, and that is the homeless situation. That is the farmers. That is the sick. We don't have any money. This country is busted, and it's busted because we're doing things that we shouldn't be doing. If we had business ability in this country, we'd be making lots of profit, so-called surplus profit. And that profit, that money, could be going to defend and I literally mean defend our homeless and our poor and our sick and our farmers. And that's where we ought to be spending the money, not giving it to countries that don't give a damn for us to start off with. We don't give anything to our farmers. Our farmers are dying. There's no question about it. Farms that were in for generations and families, they're being taken away. The homeless are all over the streets of the major cities, the sick and the problems. And yet we'll give billions of dollars in defending countries that have 5 times more money than we can ever hope to have. It's ridiculous.
Boom. That's our president right there. September 2nd, 1987. That's wild, man. That's wild. Let me turn some background tunes on for you guys. Give me a second. Let me make sure the sound is good. All right, we're good now. What a guy. I'm just gonna pull him back up on the screen one more time just for a minute. That man right there. That's our frickin' president, man. That's awesome. Yes, I just saw it. Where did it go? Oh, EC was here. We need to empower the farmers to raise real food crops and not mutant hybrids. Yes, and we know that the reason why a lot of farmers were doing that was because that was the only way for them to be able to legally keep their land. There are certain laws in certain areas of the country where you have to spray with certain pesticides for health purposes, or at least you used to, or maybe it's going away. I'm not really sure. But and yes, Deb Perry Jordan, he was speaking the truth. He was speaking the truth then, and he's speaking the truth now. And this is coming from somebody who, it's not that I didn't like Donald Trump. It's that I was brainwashed and psyoped into thinking he was something that he's not, but only for a small period of time. Like I believed in this man as a public figure back when not the 80s, I wasn't alive, but like the late 90s, when I started to understand what was going on in the world as a kid, and then the 2000s, 2010s, up until he became president, man, this guy was speaking the truth. And then when he became president, you see all these clips of everything being twisted. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but that video from the other day, I think it was from yesterday, the one where he played a video and then at the end it had the clips of Michelle and Barack and some other people, whatever. little things like that have just been spun, and you guys know it. I'm not telling you something that you don't know, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because for better or for worse, this man, in my opinion, has never switched up. The world has changed around him, and he's adapted to it. And I think that's something that all of us can look forward to. Is if we can be true in ourselves, be true to God, trust in the Lord, know Him, confide in Him, follow Him. The world's going to change around us, but hopefully it'll change for the better, and it'll change in God's favor, which is also in our favor. But even if it doesn't, man, we're still following God. It doesn't matter what this world does. It will affect our day-to-day lives here, but it's not going to affect us in eternity. So be like Trump, man. Don't switch up. Unless you find new information that completely changes your way of thinking, there's no need to switch up. I'm not going to pull this up right now, especially because it's on YouTube, Somerset 01, but thank you for sending that in. Yeah, the Monsanto video. I'm not totally sure which video it is, but if it's the one about what Monsanto did to basically capture our farmers, like when it comes to changing everything about their crops. Monsanto, man, they're not the only ones, but they're the biggest ones. So shout out to President Trump. Shout out to the storm has arrived. I think that was what it was. Yeah, the storm has arrived on X. I just want to start off with that because, I mean, we all know it, but it's nice to be reminded sometimes. And the thing about the crops is actually going to lead us into the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is Maha. I'm obviously not Maha news, but health is very important to me because it's important to all of us. But RFK Jr., man, his department has been doing huge things. So the first thing I'm going to pull up for you guys is this one. Let me make my screen bigger so I can see better. All right, there we go. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to pull up is RFK Jr. talking about petroleum-based food dyes. It's real short. It's like 23 seconds, but let me share my screen. So Maha Action, which is, I believe it's actually an official website for Maha / for what is it, HHS, or an account on X. But anyway, for Maha Action on X, it says, RFK Jr. says all harmful petroleum-based food dyes are being removed from American food. There are 9 petroleum-based synthetic food dyes. We're getting rid of all of them. Now, I just realized I'm not on the screen. Not that it matters, but now that's crazy to me that, I mean, I knew it, but really thinking about it now that it's being removed, it's crazy to me that these things have been around for so long. Like, I am no scientist, but I've dabbled in science in my life. I was technically a psych major, but I was definitely into science leading up to college years. And petroleum is not supposed to be in our bodies, guys. I mean, we all know that. A simple person can know that. But the fact that it's been there for so long is crazy to me. Also, the face he has right there is hilarious. So let me go ahead and play this. I got to turn the music off. All right.
We're also getting rid of the food dyes. 9 food dyes. We're getting rid of all of them. We got rid of 3 last year. We're getting rid of another 6 this year. All 9 of them are going to be going to petroleum-based synthetic food dyes. And we've already fast-tracked the approval by FDA of 4 vegetable dyes, which are going to replace those. So we're working with the industry to make sure they can make that transition. We're also getting...
So I love that because it's I can't remember who the first person to talk about it was. It may have either been it may have been Chris Paul. I think it might have been Chris Paul. It was one of the Devolution guys, Chris Paul, Bernie Bright, John. I'm pretty sure it was Chris Paul. But the switch theory. I feel like that is, I feel like everything in our movement, in the MAGA movement, involves the switch theory, because you can't just pull something in and then just leave a void, because that's where evil does its best business, is when it's like regime change. They do a color revolution and then there's a void in leadership and they just install whoever they want. Well, if we completely rip out the petroleum food dyes and there's nothing else to replace it, one, you're going to have a huge you're going to have huge battle because you don't have anything else to replace it. And then 2, somebody else is going to find a way to replace it with something either more sinister. Well, it's going to be more sinister, but it's either going to be more covert, which is even harder to defeat, or it's going to be overt and people are going to get behind it because you haven't given them a better option. So I love that they have the vegetable dyes already ready and rearing to go. Let's see. There's a couple more things from Maha that I wanted to show you, so I'll just keep the music off and flip through them real quick. Let me get to the next one. Let's see. Let's stick with food first, because there's also mental health stuff too, which is something that's very near and dear to my heart. My dad is a psychiatrist. I believe he's one of the good ones, but you just never know, man. Either way, we need to be in control of our own mental health so that we don't need to go to these so-called professionals for help. Okay, here we go. I had two versions of the video, or two posts. This one's from Secretary Kennedy on X. So I'll read this and then I'll play the little clip. It's got Mike Tyson in it. And I don't know where you guys stand on Mike Tyson, but I'm a huge fan. He's also very loyal to Trump, and I will talk about that in a minute. So first off, we got Secretary Kennedy on X says, "Thank you for sharing your story, Mike, and delivering the most important message in Super Bowl history. We don't have to be the sickest country in the developed world. The answer is simple: eat real food." Like I said, we all know it. I'm not beating a dead horse, because these are things that we have to re-educate ourselves, our children, and teach ourselves the proper way to live, and the proper way to treat our bodies, our minds, and our spirits, and our souls. Our souls are our spirits. But yeah, I mean, real food is simple, but for some people it's really not. So let me make this bigger. I'll let Mike talk for himself.
My sister's name was Denise. She died of obesity at 25. She had a heart attack. I was so fat and nasty. I would eat anything. I was like 345 pounds. A quart of ice cream every hour. I had so much self-hate when I was like that. I just wanted to kill myself. We're the most powerful country in the world, and we have the most obese, fudgy people. Something has to be done about processed food in this country.
First of all, he said fudgy people, which I thought was hilarious. But he's not wrong, man. And there's so many stories like that. I know plenty of people that have lost large amounts of weight. No pun intended. Actually, no pun intended. Large amounts of weight. And a ton of weight. There we go, Jackie. A ton of weight. 2,000 pounds of weight. But no, the thing is, it all comes from self-hate. It comes from not valuing the temple not valuing the body that you have, which is the temple that God gave you. And to me, and I've learned this the hard way, when I'm treating my body poorly, when I'm treating myself poorly, when I have negative self-talk, when I am engaged in habits that are detrimental to my health on a large scale, because we all have moments where we do things that aren't great for us. I mean, nobody's perfect, but we as a society are sick. Some people in the East even call it a mental illness. And I actually believe that's the case. And not people in the East as in like China, those people. I'm talking about like people from Eastern cultures that live in Eastern cultures, not globalists, not the westernized East, the old East. It was considered and in Native American cultures, a lot of the things that we do in our society is considered a mental health issue to them. It's considered people being sick. They would do ceremonies and things to rid people of these things. And for us, we just consume. We're consumer. Well, they made us into a consumer-based populace, and we're creators, man. We were created by our creator, God, to recreate things or create things either for him or, in my opinion, in the likeness of things that he's created, because we're never going to be able to do what he did. But who is a better example than God himself, you know? So I love that Iron Mike. Shout out to Bay Theater in the Bay Theater Dave in the chat for saying that, because I don't know why I didn't say Iron Mike. I love calling him Iron Mike. And yes, he did bite part of Evander Holyfield's ear off. But if you guys know anything about Mike Tyson, what? He had it coming. Jackie said he had it coming. I think she meant his ear looked real tasty or something. But no, Mike Tyson back then, first of all, he was young, man. I don't want to look it up right now, but he was like 19, 20, 21. But so what they used to do with Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson was on I think it was antidepressants and some other stuff. He may have been bipolar, but I'm not totally sure. I don't want to misdiagnose him, but he had some type of mental health issue where he took medicine for it. And what they would do is before the weigh-ins and before the fights, they would take him off his medicine. So he was crazy. He would say all those foul things. And then there's other times where you see him and he'd be completely calm. I mean, it kind of reminds you of Kanye West. Kanye West has these moments where you're just like, yes, he's based. And then you're just like, this dude's lost his damn mind. So I love that someone like Iron Mike Tyson is coming out. And again, not celebrity worship. Mike Tyson is a man. Donald Trump is a man. RFK Jr. is a man. They're just human beings with flaws. But if we're gonna see anybody say something on a screen, or if we're gonna hear a message from somebody, why not be a person that has gone through trials and tribulations, come out better for it? And in the end, the reason they came out was their focus on God, getting back to the Lord. Those are the people that we don't follow. Those people, we follow Jesus Christ, and that's it. But we can listen to people. I learned from a lot of people. I don't consider these people technically heroes to me, but they're heroic in their own way. They're definitely heroic to their own families. So I see the Ritz says it's not all psychological. I want you to elaborate on that, because I kind of agree with you, but I also have this personal belief, not personal belief, but I have this understanding. So psychology is the study of human behavior. And isn't this all human behavior? It's all based off of human behavior. Human behavior comes from certain things. Your location, your outside influence, nature, nurture. But in the end, I believe it is all psychological, because it's all part of human behavior. But anyway, but I would argue that I'm trying to think of how to describe it. I was referring to, what do you mean by I was referring to obesity. Yes. Okay. So yeah, obesity is not all psychological. That's true. And if I did say that, I misspoke. I think it's heavily psychological. There are lots of things to it. There's in our world, there's finance, class. If you don't have access is probably the biggest thing. Access and the control of the food supply. So that would be psychological on, well, I guess that'd be more sociological. But anyway. But the point I'm trying to get at is that obesity, there are a lot of causes for obesity. But if we can start attacking everything that is within our control or within somebody else's control of their own body, and fight that to help them regain power over their health, I'm all for it. So I wouldn't say I went off on a tangent, but that was a little bit extra than what I was going to talk about on that one. But I love it though, because to me, this stuff's really important, because health, in my opinion, is the second most important thing to our relationship with God. And that's just because we have to be able to, like I said, keep this temple that God gave us clean, so that we can do the works that he has brought us here to do. Let's keep up with Mike Tyson. And then actually, no. We're going to go right back to Mike Tyson, but I want to finish up the full on Maha stuff. So the last part, which is way more psychological, literally, is this one. So this clip is about 1 minute and 50 seconds. It's from Dr. Drew. I don't know how you feel about him, but he's been pretty, I guess you could say, based since I've seen him out in the public. But I'm going to get into that. But I want to bring up this from Matt VK. Access is racist. So I'm not totally sure what you mean by that, but in a way, I kind of agree. So first of all, I think that racism is the study of race. Isms are the study of whatever the root word is. But if we're taking like the version of racist that is thrown around today, classist. This is L3J6H9OM. Religion, sex, politics are personal choices. I agree with that. And by sex, obviously she means, or I'm assuming she means like sexual orientation. because we know that gender is not, but she did say sex. So anyway, this is interesting from the Ritz. Different races are designed to be in survival mode. Like Native Americans, Africans were also in famine mode often in Africa. Northern Europeans tend to be heavier, cold weather. Yes, that's another thing is, so for us, we're at a weird stage because the world is so connected now. We get things from all over. People move from all over. By the way, this is not a full on like stance on immigration, but I do feel like people immigrating from countries that are completely different climates, completely different cultures, all this stuff, it's actually very detrimental for their family lineage. So what would be better is for these places to be able to clean up their own area without interference from other countries. And also when other countries are going in and invading places, they're just dropping off their not diseases, but they're just bringing in outside variables that these people didn't have around for however long they were not contacted by those areas. So to get back to what the Ritz said, yeah, I think that you see it in a lot of the cultures in America that are, or I guess subcultures in America, that people that come from, whether it's Native American backgrounds or African backgrounds, you'll see that. Or I guess in the Middle East too, when it comes to like the desert, you'll see that survival mode more. And then if you think about it, when the Europeans came over to the United States or to North America, they had to be in survival mode because they changed where they lived. So it's all fascinating to me. And I do think all those things matter. But when it really comes down to it, one, relationship with God. We talk about this all the time. And then two, taking control over your own life. Learning these things, understanding that, yes, I may have a different ethnic background from my ancestors, and that may affect my obesity, that may affect my mental health. I may have family members that had certain diseases that I'm more prone to. Black people, sickle cell trait is something that I had to get tested for, where other kids didn't have to get tested for it when I was in college playing soccer. And that never bothered me because it's the reality of the way that God made me. Like, I'm not trying to change who I am to fit some type of, I don't know, some type of paradigm that other people have created for me. I'm trying to change who I am so that I can better myself, so that I can serve God better. So that's all I'm trying to get at. And I love these discussions, man. And then Eleanor 2000, good to see you, Mama Bear. She said, we all bleed the same, Cam Cooksey. Yep, except for those lizard people. We all bleed the same. So let me pull up this Maha Action real quick, or from Maha Action on X. And it says, Dr. Drew says toxic empathy in addiction policy has cost countless lives. He says RFK Jr.'s new plan could finally start fixing the problem. I'm not going to read all these quotes because I'm actually going to play the video. So let me go ahead and get the video ready and you guys can enjoy it. It's about 2 minutes, but I thought it was well worth listening to. And I'll cut it if it gets real boring, but even if it's, no, you know what, I won't, because even if it's boring, it's 2 minutes or 1 minute and 50 seconds that I think are important. So here we go.
This is killing millions of people, and we are finally going to turn to the solution. It is toxic empathy that has had harm avoidance as the one and only strategy in the.
So I'm only pausing it right here because I didn't mention what the word was, but toxic empathy. And the reason this one fascinated me, hold on, I'm just putting it in the chat so you guys can read it. I know you guys all heard it, but whatever. Toxic empathy. And I know we were talking about toxic unity during the last GART, during our team building not exercise, but our team building time period at GART. We talked we discussed the idea of toxic positivity, even, which I think ties in perfectly to toxic empathy. And I think I'll let Dr. Drew explain it, and then I'll come back in at the end.
Treatment of addiction, and it just killed untold numbers of people. The reality is that the addictive process, when it is in place in all settings, even if a nurse is administering the drug, in all setting, the addictive process is progressive, and it ends in death, hospitalization, imprisonment. One of those places is where it goes, and too often it's going to death, particularly in today's day when fentanyl and methamphetamine are ubiquitous. These streets are littered with people who are not given a chance at recovery because there's been an ideology in place that has been attacking recovery for 30 years. This is the first time we are going to turn to the solution. Governor of my state said that it's impossible to treat addiction. I didn't know what I've been doing for 30 years. I didn't know what the the Board of Addiction Medicine has been doing for the last 40 years, because we have been helping people and no one has listened to the experts on this matter. And it has been one size fits all, which has been harm avoidance. And that has done untold harm. We are finally going to go help these people. And again, what's most exciting, it's being led by people who themselves have recovered from opiates, stimulants, and alcohol. And it will make a huge difference. Mark my words. This is the beginning of something very special. So keep an eye on this in terms of the health and the humanitarian, as Gary Brecka said, initiative of MAHA. I don't think anything will have a deeper and more profound impact than this move if it's executed properly.
All right. So thoughts, chime in whenever you'd like, as you always should when you have a thought. I say when you like. I saw a few things in the chat that I was enjoying while this dude I almost called him Dr. Oz. They're all kind of the same to me. Dr. Drew. He said, so Matt VK first said, is that like toxic shock syndrome? No, I don't think so. So toxic empathy, what he was talking about, and most of you probably understood it once he explained it. But what I got from it was toxic empathy is basically what toxic empathy saying, oh, I feel the way, like I put in myself. So sympathy is feeling for someone. Empathy is feeling what they're feeling, putting yourself in their shoes. That's the best way to describe it. Toxic empathy is saying, oh, if it was me, oh man, if I was addicted to these drugs and I was sweating and having withdrawals, man, I don't know what I'd do. I just wish somebody would give me the drugs, like let it be my choice, or let me have it in small doses so that I can continue to like be comfortable living. That's toxic empathy, because all you're doing is stringing it along. And I am the only reason I'm not going to go full on with Rebel Nader is because I personally feel like I had to do a little more research, but I'm like 99.9% sure this is the truth. It's not addiction, it's escapism. Because most people don't get into addictions, I wouldn't say randomly. No, randomly. It's not really a random thing. It's more, it's like a plane crash. So I don't know if you guys have ever read Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. But in the book, he talks about, spoiler alert for the book, it's been out forever. But in the book, he talks about how plane crashes don't come from one thing going wrong. It's a plethora of things. It's like 7 or 8 things. There's a bolt loose here. There's a engine failure there. There's low fuel here. A rudder's not working. The hydraulics are messed up. Like there's a bunch of different things going on. Well, when it comes to addiction, I don't think people just get addicted. At least I haven't seen it where people they try something, they just boom, I'm hooked. Now there are a few drugs obviously where people have like automatic addictions, but not automatic. They're not automatic because not everybody gets addicted to them. But there are some drugs that are a lot harder to fight off your body's addiction to it. So I could see, for me, addiction is the physical connection or the physical need for the substance. So when your body is so used to something and you can't live without it comfortably, like your quality of life is extremely lowered because you're off of it or you don't have it in your system. To me, that's an addiction. It has to also be something foreign. Like it's not like food. When I say food, I mean healthy food. So things that our body naturally takes in. It has to be something external that way. But the addiction, or what people are calling addiction, to me is the escapism. It's the reason people want to keep going back to this drug. Yes, there are withdrawals from it. It's physically hurts, but to me it's way more of an escapism. It's something in my life is not good when I'm sober, so I need something else. Or something in my life is not good when I'm eating whatever, so I need something else. Or because because these things that I'm putting into my body are making me feel better than when they're not there. And by better, I mean it's subjective. I'm going to keep doing it. And to me, that's the escapism. So thank you guys for commenting in the chat about that. Let's see. I missed a lot of stuff. Here we go. Poison Pond says toxic empathy is enabling someone to hurt themselves. If you love someone, you're not going to allow them to hurt themselves. Yes. And I would argue it's not really empathy. I think toxic empathy is an oxymoron. I mean, the whole point is that these things are oxymorons, like toxic unity and all this stuff, because it's not really unity. If it's toxic, you're not bringing people together. You're just dividing in a sneaky way. But I totally agree with you, Poison Pond. If you love somebody, you're not going to allow them to hurt themselves by any means necessary. Obviously, I don't think that you should completely infringe on somebody else's rights as a human being. But if you love someone and it's a loved one of yours, family member, close friend, somebody that actually confides in you, you won't allow them to hurt themselves. And this is the one caveat that I'll have is I know that there are times where it has gone so far that for your own sake, you have to cut that person loose, and it's ultimately up to them. But you're not allowing them to hurt themselves at that point. You're removing yourself from a situation where you know you're hurting yourself, because at that point it's about your mental health. And a lot of us had to deal with that with people with TDS, man. And I know it's funny to call it TDS, but it is a disease. It is a mental illness, Trump derangement syndrome. And there are some people that not only will they not ever get over it, but they're toxic with it. They bring other people down with it. They make everyone's life miserable. They harm people because of it. I mean, we see these people out here. Some of them are paid protesters, but there are a few people out there that are just real ideologues, and they're hurting people, literally, physically hurting people. So yeah, those people kick rocks, man. You're past the point of no return. But to everyone that you truly love, you're not going to let them hurt themselves. That's not how it works. And Bay Theater Dave, Mr. Dictionary, says empathy, the action of understanding, being aware of, being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experiences of another. Couldn't have said it better myself, Merriam-Webster. Dave. How about Rebel Nader says, how about when your empathy causes you stress, like those poor Somali immigrants? Like I said, so actually, you know what? So how about when your empathy causes you stress, like those poor Somali immigrants? All right, so this is, by the way, this is how my brain works, guys. Whenever I'm like mulling over something and I really just want to break it down, I'll read basically what Rebel Nader wrote, and then I'll throw in the definition. So how about when the action of understanding, being aware of, or being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experiences of the Somalis distresses you or causes you distress? Somali immigrants. Well, the thing for me is, to pull Bay Theater Dave's thing back up, I understand, I'm aware of, I would argue I'm sensitive to it. I'm not vicariously experiencing I guess I'm experiencing the feelings, maybe not the thoughts and the experiences of them. But when it comes to this last part, vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experiences, I think I have more sympathy. I don't think it's empathy. And the reason I think that I personally don't have empathy for these people, and it's hard for me to say because I consider myself an empath, is because I can't relate to going to another country and doing what they've done. I don't have empathy for. Now, I'm pretty sure that Rebel Nader was being more tongue-in-cheek because he said poor Somali immigrants. But this is not the same level, but it gets there. I don't have any empathy for pedophiles, man, or the people that call themselves juvenile lovers or whatever they call. I don't have sympathy for them either. But I can't put myself in their shoes. It's very hard for me to put myself in the shoes of somebody who is committing certain types of crimes. If it's something simple like jaywalking, like speeding, even shoplifting to feed your family, I could put myself in those shoes. I've never been to that point where I needed to do that, but I've been hungry before. I just have to put myself in that mindset, think about people that have no access to food. But when it comes to scamming the government and taking money from American citizens, I can't have empathy for you because I don't even know what that feels like. I can't even imagine it. So let me start to skip a little bit ahead because I really went off on that one. But this whole thing is going to be kind of talking about mental health. So not mental health, but in general, health, wellness. And the only reason I'm doing that today is because so much shit has happened in the last week, man. So much shit has happened in the last week, and I can't tell everything right now, but a lot of it I can tell is smoke. I don't know where the fires are at exactly, but I can tell there's smoke. There's election smoke. There's Epstein smoke. There's what is it? There's like shakeups in the administration smoke. All kinds of stuff. There's the Olympics smoke. I'll give you guys a little bit of take on the Olympic stuff in a little bit, but yeah, man, there's a lot going on, and I just feel like this is a good time for us to guard our minds from the slings and arrows of the wicked one. Real quick, not real quick, but we got a Rumble rant that came in from Keto Higgins, about to pull up on the screen. Keto Higgins, good to see you, brother. For $1 says, God balances everything. Biologically speaking, if your race is prone to sickle cell anemia, your race makes you less prone to osteoporosis. Look it up. You can see the old hunchbacked white woman. That is a very good point, Keto Higgins. And that is the best part of the whole thing. Let me pull this up. God balances everything. And that's the key to remember there, guys. God balances everything. There's no reason to focus. Actually, I think there's either somebody's post or a clip that I'm going to play that kind of talks about this. But there's no reason to focus on the problems of your worldly life. Actually, no, I don't have this one. It's from Deion Sanders. If you guys want to go look it up, Deion Sanders on X, maybe a couple days ago, wrote about this. But he basically said, there's no point in focusing on the things in your life that aren't going well for you, that like your setbacks, your position in life, all these different things. And it's because of this, because God balances everything. And in my opinion, it's our job to search out the balance. If it's a balance in our bodies, let's learn about it. We already physically know it. It may not be conscious, it may be subconscious, but we physically know it because our body will balance out. There's a reason why so many people that have illnesses and issues are still living. It may not be the best quality of life, but they're still living because God finds a way to balance it out until we find a way to fuck it up. Part of my language, but not really part of my language. So I love that. Thank you so much, Keith. Oh, on screen. And then while I was talking, Salvish comes in with $10. Good to see you, Salvish. Thank you so much. And if you didn't hear me earlier, I said thank you so much for the birthday gift that you gave me. I don't remember which app it was on, but thank you so much. Salvish for $10 says, in the family, drug addicts, alcoholics, mental illness, and on and on. The only time anyone has separated, though, is a result of TDS, and more than just a couple. It's a mind virus. Absolutely. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. But I would argue that I've gone through, not argue, I would say that I've gone through every single one of those things that you described. And I honestly feel it's the same way. I mean, you have the few drug addicts or the alcoholics or the mentally ill that kind of, for lack of a better word, sketch off. Like they go off on their own because they're kind of far gone. But no one ever just leaves them. We're always looking to see how they're doing. If they have a friend in the area or someone that we know, we'll check in, see how they're doing. You know, we probably won't try to contact them because we want them to come back on their terms, on their time. But the TDS one is for real, man. You will, it's crazy. And the craziest thing, because it's so far removed from our families. It really is. Like people think, and for us, it's a little different because we put ourselves in the fight by choice. A lot of these people have removed themselves by choice, but then they insert themselves whenever you're trying to fight. So it's like they don't want to fight, but every time that you want to go in and move forward, move the line, they're like, hold on, let me screw up everything that you're trying to do. Let me throw you off track. But for no good reason, just to stir shit. And so, yeah, it really is a mind virus. And it's interesting to me because COVID was also a mind virus. Most of these things are mind viruses when it comes to like the political sphere. But I do enjoy that that Dr. Drew and Maha and Secretary Kennedy are talking about mental health, because I think the awareness of it is the most important part, to be honest, right now, because we are going to continue to fall back into the same cycles if we don't change our thoughts, change our minds, change the way we think. And I already see it happening, especially in our community. But yeah, just keep pushing forward, guys. There's a reason why we have each other. It's very helpful for the mental health of our society to be a community. And I think that's probably, in my opinion, that's the most beautiful thing about MAGA, is the fact that patriots that felt like there was nowhere to go finally found a home. And the home was not only like a cool home, a fun home, it's got like the most badass leader. It's got the funniest memes. It's got all the humor in the world. It's got it has 1% sensitivity, and that's only to other God-fearing patriots around the world, not just Americans, because we care about other people too. We just focus on us first. It's a beautiful thing, man. So make sure you reach out to each other. All right, last thing from Maha, but it really just ties into Donald Trump again, and that'll bring us full circle back to where I want to get to next. And in about 7 to 10 minutes, I'm going to cut YouTube. So YouTube, be ready to go on over to Rumble or X. During this video, I'll find the links and put them in the chat. So first up, we got Secretary Kennedy again on X. Let me pause this video. Secretary Kennedy on X. He says, President Trump has stood up to special interests and fought for the American people like no one else. This administration is taking on big pharma to lower drug prices, taking on insurance companies to force transparency, and spurring a national movement to eat real food. Now, the one thing I will add to that is I hate seeing this, but I understand that there are people that cannot just quit the drugs they're on, cold turkey. But lowering drug prices, every time I see that, it just reminds me that there are still drugs out there that are killing people. And I honestly think that we will not be able to truly see our potential as humans until we cut out all the drugs and replace them with holistic medicine. And I don't necessarily mean woo-woo, but also woo-woo works. Sometimes it works. But I just mean, 1, eat real food. And 2, just the natural things that people can do to keep themselves healthy. So let me go ahead and play this video. Yes, it's Fox News, whatever. I'm here for Mike Tyson. Jesse Waters is, I don't know if he was tired or what, but I mean, I know Mike has been fighting for years and he's been dealing with his own problems, but Jesse's looking a little rough. I hope for his own sake that he's doing all right. But I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit exciting to see some of these newscasters start to look more and more stressed because they've just been shoveling shit for years, and they're finally smelling it. All right, here we go.
Relationship with President Trump, you guys have known each other since the 80s. You've been at Bedminster, you're just at Mar-a-Lago. How is the president doing?
He looks beautiful, happy, functional. He's enjoying the people. I can't even explain his mood. He's just we never seen any president like this before, and not in your lifetime, nor in mine.
That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. When you guys used to hang out back in the day, any funny stories you want to tell us?
No, he was just a businessman, and he ran his business right. And that was just a great idea when he decided to have me fight in Atlantic City, because I never thought that Atlantic City would ever be. I just didn't like Atlantic City back there. I just wasn't an Atlantic City person, and he made me an Atlantic City person. I even moved there at one time. I lived there for a few years.
And you made a lot of money in Atlantic City, and he did too.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that. But listen, my whole experience with President Trump is that he's just a genuine, real person. If he got your back, he's with you 100%.
Yeah, he's a loyal guy. That's
sure. My experience with him. That's my experience with him. Yeah, that's why I'm for him 100%, because he's never been nothing but for me.
All right, that was Iron Mike again, talking about loyalty, man. Loyalty, and my favorite thing in that whole exchange was how Donald Trump was a visionary on Atlantic City. Again, we all know this if you've ever watched Book of Trump or plenty of other shows, but Ghost definitely talked about it on Book of Trump. This guy has vision like nobody else, man. He sees into the future. Who knows? Maybe his Uncle John, maybe he gave him a looking glass. Maybe he didn't give him a snow globe for Christmas one year. Maybe it was really a looking glass. But no, he's a visionary, man. And man, Mike Tyson said Mike Tyson, first of all, I love that Mike Tyson he was never an idiot. He was crazy. And by crazy, I mean he was just out of control, but he was never an idiot. So he didn't like Atlantic City. He didn't like the fighting venue, all that stuff. But he trusted Donald Trump because Donald Trump proved to him, not only as a business partner, but as a friend, that he knew what he was doing. And that's what you do, guys. When somebody proves to you, so the whole trust me, bro thing, I'm with everybody else here. Well, not everybody, but whoever here at Badlands agrees that we're done with the trust me, bro. I'm not going to just trust you because you have a title, whatever, all this stuff. Proof of work. Show me what you do. Donald Trump proved to so many people, even the haters, that he knows what he's doing. Hey, man, that's the person you listen to. I did see something up here. Someone said, Wendy +6. Where's all the tattoos? So I'll pull it back up. So he still has the tattoos. Let me see if I can show you. So right here is his big old face tattoo. He only has I think one face tattoo. It's huge though. But they put makeup on him and stuff to get him ready for primetime TV. You know, the Fox News crowd, they see some people with tattoos and no, I'm just kidding. No, Deedle D. Yeah, didn't he babysit DJT's kids, or was that Herschel? So it may have been Herschel. I think Michael Jackson, if I remember correctly. I don't know if Michael Jackson babysat the kids, but I remember them talking about, or I think it was either Michael or Donald and Michael. I think maybe Donald after Michael passed. President Trump, sorry. Not Donald. He's a cool guy. You probably like it. Not in person. I wouldn't call him that to his face. But anyway. But he used to be around their kids all the time. So I don't know. It was either Herschel Walker or Michael Jackson. I think it was Herschel Walker. It's funny that we're trying to think of 3 black people. But I mean, it's so funny because we're trying to think of 3 people. They all happen to be black. And oh man. And then come full circle to this video where people are complaining, guys. That one's the oldest one, man, and the lamest one. It's so fucking stupid. And I mean the language on that one. I put the Rumble link in the chat. I was getting the X one, but then the video was about to end, so I wanted to come back to you guys. So I'll put the X one in just a second. I'm gonna play one more video.
You have a great relationship with.
I'm gonna play one more video on YouTube with YouTube still on, and then I'm gonna cut us from YouTube. And this is the last one from Maha, and it's talking about schizophrenia. So this will round out our mental health little segment, in my opinion. Until maybe next week, who knows? But all right, so this one is from Maha Action. Breaking: RFK Jr. drops bombshell on schizophrenia. This is from 5 hours ago, so pretty recent. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just stated that Dr. Chris Palmer, Harvard psychiatrist, has successfully cured schizophrenia in patients using the ketogenic diet. Now, when I read that, I was like, that makes sense to me. I don't know why, because I don't know enough about schizophrenia and the causes of it. But it makes sense to me because the brain, guys, our brains are so full of, our brains are working so poorly compared to their potential. Like overall humanity in general, we're not doing very well. But as like an American society, with the food they've given us, with the water that they've given us, or sorry, the food that we have access to, the water we have access to, the air that we breathe, the chemicals in the paints that we smell, just all this stuff, right? Barely get a chance to really function correctly. And so when I saw this, I was just like, that's fascinating. So play it real quick, 24 seconds, and we'll see what they say about it.
Dr. Pollan up at Harvard has cured schizophrenia using keto diets. There are studies right now that I saw 2 days ago where people lose their bipolar diagnosis by changing their diet. It's not only affecting our physical health, it's affecting our mental health as well. And we're asking people now to eat real food, eat protein. Dr. Pollan.
It's huge, man. That's huge stuff. Huge. Oh, I just realized why I didn't see what you guys were talking about. It's so far away. I was all the way at the top of my list over here. Frederick Leathers. Keto and fasting metabolically fixes the body. I've heard that. And I haven't tried it myself, so I'm not going to back it wholeheartedly, but it's definitely something that I will try. And I think it's very important to put, I think it's very important that Frederick Leathers put fasting metabolically, because fasting can harm your body, guys, if not done properly. You got to learn how to fast for your body. Everybody's body is different, just so you guys know. I think most of you guys in this audience know that, but I know there are plenty of people that I've met that they hear about people doing that they hear about people fasting, or rightfully so, or not rightfully so, but correctly, they read about fasting in the Bible and they want to try it. But we're also working with our bodies in 2026. And if your body has been pumped full of crap for me, 36 years, well, not 36 years of pumping crap into my body, but it's been pumped full of crap for 30 something years before I woke up to my health. You can't just stop eating. It doesn't work that way. Now, some people's bodies may be able to handle it. Do your research, guys. Do your research. This is from a little bit back, but in the soil. Yep. Dead Perry Jordan. Absolutely. The soil too. And the soil is so important because the soil. I had something funny to say, and then I switched up the tense of it. I was going to say it in the past tense. Basically, what I was trying to say is that the soil is the root, quote unquote, of everything. I mean, that's our ground. That's where we get grounded. So when you go outside and you touch grass, you walk out there in your bare feet and you put your feet in the grass, you're getting energy from the soil. You're getting energy from the sun that was put into the soil. You're getting energy from the earth. But if we're tainting the soil, what's that doing to our grounding? Just saying, guys. Just saying. Poison Pawn. God created a wonderful, miraculous, unbelievable creation when he created us, and especially our minds and our brains. And we've done everything we can to try and destroy it. I would say yes. One caveat: Satan has done everything to try to destroy it. We've helped. We've hurt God's cause and helped Satan's cause for a very long time, as a whole. But Satan hasn't prevailed, and he never will, because God wins in the end. God wins in the end. So we should probably get on the right side of history. Just saying. But that's a very valid point, Poison Pill. Absolutely. All right. YouTube, gonna cut you guys. I love you guys. Babbage, I did see you come in here. I think you were talking to Liberty Lion too. Sissy May 845, thank you for being here. And you said, I miss having a place to garden and have a few chickens. We got to get that back for you. Hopefully, as our economy starts to sure up, we'll be able to afford things like larger plots of land and to keep the government off our backs. That's really, I'm less worried about the plots of land and more thinking about just getting the government off our backs. If you have the ability, if there aren't as many rules and regulations for you to be able to garden and have your chickens, people will move to spaces where the land is less expensive and they can grow. So, again, thank you so much, everybody on YouTube. Come on over to Rumble or our X. I will put the X link in the chat right now. I forgot to do that. / I was busy doing other stuff. And I can actually see right now myself at the bottom. Copy link. Boom. All right. YouTube, putting in the chat real quick on YouTube. While I'm doing that, I will tell you guys. Actually, no. While I'm doing that, I'll play our last ad. So YouTube, I'm cutting you guys after this ad, but I'm going to put the link in the chat for Rumble and X. So last up, we got soft disclosure. Also, it's Valentine's Day. I can't even mispronounce it correctly. Valentine's Day, apparently. I don't know.
The following ad is rated M for mature. Soft Disclosure wants you to get naked this Valentine's Day with limited edition his and her bundles that save you 20% off the individual retail prices. Proprietary oil infusions, grass-finished beef tallow, goat's milk from American goats, locally grown herbs and ingredients. Soft Disclosure is putting America First fruits on your skin.
And for these sexy bundles, we've added an all-new boar's haired beard brush and a solid jade gua sha. And the reason I'm here is because Alpha doesn't know how to say these words.
Gusha. His, hers. We need a moment to calm down. Don't hide your skin. Disclose it. Get naked this Valentine's Day with Soft Disclosure. Head over to softdisclosure.com and save 20% off individual retail prices with our his and hers customizable bundles, and use promo code NAKED to save 15% off the rest of the site. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Promo code does not apply to bundle discounts.
All right, that was soft disclosure. And I believe it's too late now to order your stuff to be able to for sure get it by Valentine's Day. There may be an option for like quick 3-day shipping or something, but I believe the cutoff was supposed to be the 7th. So I think since it's maybe West Coast, I don't know, but we'll see. But either way, I would go ahead and order it tonight because there's still a good chance that it could get there. But yeah, we need about 7 days for the stuff to get over. 7 days. That's from The Ring, I believe. Anyway, Sissy May. Oh, YouTube. I haven't cut you guys off yet. I'm about to cut off YouTube. Yeah, Sissy May. So it's funny you say this, and I'm not making fun of you. Trust me. Love you. Thank you so much. But I just love that you wrote this because to everyone in our audience, that's like that was the show. That was the original show, really. But you said, oh, cool, a new one. Yep. And the funny thing is, if you've never seen DPH, oh, you're in for a good night tonight. Also, stick around for people at 9 o'clock. Alpha's coming up in a little bit. So I don't step on his toes. Let me keep it moving. YouTube, love you guys. Gonna cut you. 5, 4, 3, 2, bye.